Take two. Back in the house.
And was even better that time around.
Hi, Nate.
Hey,
Hold on,
no, I'm in the middle.
Hi, Nate. Yeah, so the first time we started, we had a little echo feedback. So we fixed that with some funky headphones borrowed from my son.
They look great.
Thank you.
How's he going to play Call of Duty now?
Yeah, I know. He's going to just have to scream into the screen.
Have rocking out yet again, says Money from Mars. Davey B says, hello. Hello, Davey. It's going to be a good show, guys. Got started a little late, but I've got no plans tonight or tomorrow or the next day.
I was planning on doing a road trip to the kitchen.
I might hit the kitchen too.
Taking my wife on a date to the backyard. Lots of big plans this week.
I mowed my lawn the other day, but just for no reason. Like it made it worse. It hadn't grown. I just needed to get outside. Just made like this mud circle around the yard.
Let's get a little bit of a banner in here. Introduce the show. Late night with tactical arbitrage.
What's up from Boston? What's up, Demetrius? Jeff, what up, Jeff?
I mean, if we're going to be stuck indoors, we might as well have some fun with it. And that's kind of where this show was born, to help people who are sort of thinking about, what are the next moves in this Amazon space during all of this. And, we can discuss all of that. And
so what's the situation? What's the situation like over there in Australia? You guys locked down yet? Or?
Yeah, so we kind of they've released it in stages, and they spent an awfully long time closing the schools. I think at one point there was 138 schools, countries around the world that had shut their schools, but Australia hadn't done that yet. And they still haven't completely shut them. What they've done now is said the kids of essential workers can still go to school, but everybody else is now encouraged to keep them at home. It's pretty crazy. Like all the daycares are still open, but our numbers are rising rapidly, and I pulled my kids out 2 weeks ago, and at first the schools were kind of messaging us saying, we didn't tell you could take your kids home yet, and I said, I really don't think it's your choice. This is a global pandemic, and this isn't really something that a school can dictate to a parent. Anyway, about 3 days later, they sent out a message sort of saying that, okay, we agree that parents who have taken their kids out are allowed to.
It won't age well if they came back and they said that they made everybody there. But
how about you guys? How long have you been on lockdown for?
I went in a little early. I was at my gym and they stopped using hand sanitizer, and I just it was like a breaking point for me. I'm like, this is gross. So I stopped going. I moved out of my office. I moved back into the house, and that's where I am. I have not really left much.
Yep. Now we're on week 3.
Wow.
Really not sure. I was supposed to do. I have like one thing to do, and I had something to do on Wednesday, and I thought today was Wednesday, and I was totally prepared to do it. And it's Tuesday.
Have you found? Is your school still open now? Are you doing the homeschooling thing right now, or have you started the break?
Yeah, we have it's more like a home college type of vibe we have here. The kids are kind of allowed to go as they please.
Beggars.
You mean this is just a home rule?
So how long can Van?
Adults, I don't need to watch them.
How long can Van cake stand for?
48 seconds was the high time.
Wow, that is incredible for a toddler.
This guy's supposed to Nate right now, closed door. Yeah,
we never had sororities here. What do you know? The sororities is for the girls, right? Or what's the guys?
Fraternities.
Fraternity. We never had fraternities here.
Did they try to get you to jump into a sorority, Alex?
I'm
kind of gave the vibe.
Anything. It all looks fun.
Yeah, I didn't take part in that. But you guys want to get into Amazon related stuff here? We've got.
So Jeff has said 3 weeks.
Thank you, Cindy. I was waiting. I was waiting for some compliments. Was I fishing for compliments by wearing this? Yes.
Jeff,
wear
this
this
is
and not expect
3 weeks
compliments.
for the lunatics run in California. What does he mean by that?
They've been shut down a little bit longer
Yeah.
since they
Okay.
have a direct line from a lot of our imports.
If we could ask this, maybe we can pull the crowd a little bit before we get into the TA stuff. How is everyone's sanity? Mine's like a thread or two so far.
I've got like 4 kids at home, so my sanity left the building a long time ago.
Yeah, I was insane before this started, so it's hard to really get a good gauge of where I'm at now.
Jeff, if your comment is like in any way political, I just want to sort of wind you back there and say that no politics in.
I don't think it's political.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's political or not, but when you say lunatics run in California, it sort of sounds like it's leaning political, and we're going to avoid it. We're going to avoid politics. We can talk about the sanity of being stuck at home and that kind of thing, but yeah, Diane says absolutely sane. Brian says 3 out of 10 on a good day.
That's about right.
3 out of 10 sounds good.
Adonis says my workstation has been commandeered by my partner. So the word unprecedented gets thrown around a lot at the moment, and it really is completely unprecedented time. I mean, I've been on this planet for 46 years, and I've never seen anything like this at all. Places like Vegas.
Birthday, by the way.
Hey?
So we missed your birthday too, like total jerks.
Well, my birthday was on the 15th of March, and I voluntarily pulled the kids out of school on the 16th of March. And we had people come over on the 15th, and we were all sort of nervously sitting around and going, yeah, it's fine. It's fine to have people over. And then the very next day I said to Lisa, that's the last time we're having anybody come around the house at all. We're just going to shut the doors. And of course, 2 weeks later, things are happening so quickly that 2 weeks later, they basically said, nobody's allowed. You're only allowed to be in groups of 2 unless it's family members now in Australia. I don't know what your group sizes are like over there, but if it's any more than 2, then you can actually get fined on the street now. So
we missed Chris Green's birthday too.
Yeah,
and we found out because he said, we should make as a Chrome extension that reminds you of people's birthdays.
I think it's called Facebook.
We were like, happy birthday, Chris. Forgot. All right, let's get going. Facebook user says, happy belated B-Day, Alex. Christine says, hello, Christine. Hope everybody's safe. This Facebook user. For some reason, some of these names aren't showing up, but
yeah, so it should say on the screen that if you want your actual name to come through, then you need to follow the link on the Facebook. It should say a link to StreamYard where you can register, and then so that's why I can see most people's names, but anybody who hasn't done that yet, it just says Facebook user. So thank you, Facebook user. Happy belated birthday. I appreciate that, Facebook user. Is user your last name?
It's a French name. Facebook. So we've got some giveaways. It's getting kind of late since we had a little bit of some technical diffies there early on, but
yeah, we can get this show on the road if you like. But there's a few things to go over. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the recent changes at Amazon, and I might just share my screen there. Share the screen. Sharing the screen.
Wow, I feel like I have so much space now.
There we go. So, hi down there.
Hey.
I can't do that. I think it's got me left and right switched over.
This is my left hand.
So I'm just going to pull up the recent news. So on March the 17th, Amazon tipped over the apple cart a little bit and said some products such as household staples and medical supplies are out of stock. With this in mind, we are temporarily prioritizing household staples, medical supplies, and other high-demand products coming into our fulfillment centers so that we can more quickly receive, restock, and deliver these products to customers. This, of course, meant that if you wanted to ship in your game of Pie Face or any other, toys or kitchen appliances, they may have been rejected in your shipment until this period is over. Now, they said at the time that this will be in effect today through April 5th, 2020. There's some talk of an extension on that. Have you heard anything more on that at all, Chris?
I have heard in the rumor mill that there may be 3 more weeks of this.
Okay.
And I would imagine that we'll be notified probably like on the 4th. You know,
it's coming up. Today's the 31st, so that's.
Yeah, I mean, it will know soon.
Now, in positive news attached to that, it says on a email or in a news article a few days ago, we are now able to broaden the list of what they're willing to accept. We're doing this on an item by item basis, and inside the restock inventory page, restock reports in Seller Central, you can check which products are eligible for shipment creation.
I mean, so I don't know. I don't think I can't. I don't know. I mean, I would not be shocked if they extend it, but I would be shocked if they extend it and it's not looser than the first extension. Because I mean, if you've been shopping lately, like in the U.S., like they're running low on a lot of stuff that people are buying like crazy right now on Amazon, and a lot of the stuff that isn't essential, but is stuff that people want and don't need, but would buy is going out of stock. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence if I think it's going to be another 3 weeks that's going to be the same, or if it's going to be just loosened a little bit and then extended indefinitely. But we'll see.
So I'm just going to stop that ringing. Yeah. So I mean, they're saying here in this article that they're looking at relaxing things a little bit from now. And let's be honest, it's a major source of income for Amazon, and they can't necessarily drag it out too long. I understand what they're trying to do, and it's their heart's in the right place, and it's an admirable initiative for them to go out and do this. But when they say temporary, I truly do expect it to be temporary. That being said, people are wondering, right now, well, what do I do today in the meantime? And I think there's a few different approaches here. There's no real reason why you have to minimize your income during this time. Anybody who's been an Amazon member for some time, although this is unprecedented, changes to Amazon are certainly not unprecedented. And everybody who's rolled with the punches over the years is still with us now and thriving. So what I would say is that you need to basically adjust your own sort of goalposts. Chris, for example, you do some merchant fulfilled.
We did 47 items out today, out the door. Well, 47 packages. That was around 52 units.
Wow. So I've got a question, because I'm not in the States, and it's a bit of a misnomer calling this late night with tactical arbitrage, because for me it's middle of the day with tactical arbitrage. It doesn't have the same ring to it, really. Yeah. So how do you what software do you use to work out sort of what your estimated shipping is going to be, etc.? I mean, obviously there's the things you need to have, like packages and to ship them out, etc. All of that stuff's pretty standard. You're just dealing with the postal service, right? But how do you know what it's going to cost to send out a package to a guy in Oregon versus a guy over here versus this weight versus this size, etc.?
So, like in my case, I'm pretty lucky. I sell. So I'll admit I'm not the biggest seller, but what I like to sell are supplements, vitamins, and makeup. Like that's typically what I'm selling. So most everything I sell is small and lightweight, and it's all been, I'd say 95% of it's been first class mail. So from Florida all the way to Alaska is a maximum of $5. And so I've just been figuring in around $4 is what it's going to cost me to ship. And I just go with it because I don't think there's a really great way to know on every single item what it's going to cost. Because if I ship to, so I had something this morning ship from from here to South Beach, Florida, so like 3 hours away. It was $2.84, and that same item that I also shipped to California was like $3.31.
Oh wow!
So I've just been averaging what I figure the cost is on the high end, so that I can make sure that the items are still profitable.
And of course, Amazon fees are different, and you can adjust the way you see the fees calculated in tactical arbitrage. Amazon fees are different, and so you're offsetting one against the other. And as soon as you can sort of wrap your head around that change, then there's no reason why, with a bit of extra hands-on, you can't hustle away as normal.
Yeah, it's there's a ton of money in merchant fulfilled right now, and in a lot of cases, you're winning the buy box over FBA sellers because you get the item to the customer faster. So on my merchant fulfilled items, I'm not undercutting any FBA sellers on price. I'm matching the buy box, and I'm winning the buy box because I can get it over to them faster.
Oh wow, that's a bit of a change. So what about do you still attempt to send them all in as a shipment? And some of these, because you're talking about vitamins and things, some of this would be considered, as they're saying, sort of household essentials and medical supplies.
I haven't sent in a shipment to Amazon since this all started.
Okay.
I've just merchant fulfilled everything.
But I suppose there is a chance that some of those items could be sent in as FBA if you like. It depends on sort of what they're receiving. And
the beauty and the health and household, or not beauty, but health and household and personal care are both open to FBA shipments right now. So I would imagine that a lot of the stuff that I sell could be sent in. But it's selling faster, and I'm getting paid quicker by doing merchant fulfilled. So it just makes sense. And it gives my son something to do.
Nice. I'm sorry that this comment is covering your face a little bit, but I'll read it out and take it away. It says, do you build that into the price, or do you change your shipping template to reflect the shipping charges to the customer? That's from Brian on Facebook, I think. No, on YouTube.
Personally, I just put it into my price. I charge 0 shipping on all items on Amazon. I think psychologically, people are used to not having to pay for shipping. So I don't want to be, unless it's a used book. People know that they're going to pay, $1 plus $3.99 shipping. But personally, I'm going to go and just sell it, just a flat price, no added shipping, and I just match the FBA buy box right now. I mean, that's going to change eventually. FBM sellers are not going to get the buy box once everything is back to normal.
That's true, and I'm just going to show people where they can make the adjustment for your seller type in settings. If you go settings page, tactical arbitrage, search filters up the very top here, you can simply switch this from fulfillment by Amazon to merchant fulfilled, and then when you're running a search, the Amazon's fee calculation will be adjusted to take into account the merchant fulfilled fees instead of the FBA fees. So that's a little tip there.
Pro tip. If we had those sound effects, it would have been a great place for them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's one thing we lost by restarting the broadcast. Is we had a little panel of sound effects here. We could play whip cracks and applause, and added an extra little layer of fun. But it turned out there was an echo, so we had to stop that. Brian says, thank you, Brian, for that. Actually, I wouldn't mind throwing it out there for anybody who has got a specific tip on, let me just see the way that I've worded it here. The best way is for your business to survive during a pandemic. If you've got any good tricks or tips, especially in relation to current Amazon restrictions, and you send those through in the comments, we'll pick out a couple that we consider the most useful for the people watching, and we'll flick you guys a $25 Amazon gift card for your trouble and for helping people.
Are we going into the tips section currently, or are we going to wait for that a little bit? Because I've got a couple.
All right, no, yeah, that'd be great.
So these ones are not necessarily like Amazon related, but I've watched a few videos from people who are fairly knowledgeable, and the whole CARES Act that came out has got a couple of ways to get loans for small businesses, and Amazon sellers might actually be eligible pretty easily. And supposedly, and I need to go and read the actual wording, but supposedly you should be able to get like even 10 grand and it can be forgiven as long as you use it according to their rules, which is for business activities and stuff like that. So you want to go look at the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, which is through the SBA. And I'm not a lawyer or a CPA, so I'm just an idiot on the internet. So take that for what it's worth. But you should read about the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and I'm going to learn a little bit more about it tomorrow, so I can be
the Economic Injury Disaster.
Yeah, and it's through the Small Business Administration, Small Business Administration, the SBA.
Yeah, it's a U.S. thing, right?
Yeah, it's a U.S. thing.
Another thing we wanted to do for the next, Alex, I'll get you the link. I wanted to do I know a lot of sellers are struggling right now, and you guys have been so good to us over the years. I wanted to do a pay what you can on Storefront Stalker Pro, so you can get it for anywhere between $0 and full price. And I'm going to run that for 24 hours. And I will post that link in here once I can figure out how to do it. If your business is really hurting and you can't pay anything, you can get it for free. If you are doing fine and you want it, pay what you think is a fair price. But I'm going to run that for 24 hours and just kind of have that be my just kind of thank you for everybody that's been with us over the past. How long has TA been around, Alex? 5 years now? 4 years?
April 2016. So yeah, 4 years now.
4 years, yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. And I will share that with this replay link, and we'll be live for 24 hours after that.
That's very generous, man. Thank you so much. That's so
yeah,
cool.
I think it'll be pretty cool. But yeah, just honor system, not going to check or anything. If you guys feel like you are at a point where it could help your business and keep you afloat, help you find more products, I think that'd be awesome. So I'm going to share that later, but yeah.
And speaking of which, Facebook user, will this video be available to rewatch later? Yes, it will be up on Facebook and YouTube. And as Nate just said, he'll post the links on that.
Yeah, actually,
can you
I'll
post that link in the
link right
comments?
now. Yeah, yeah, I'll post it. I can't post it for some reason. I can't access our comments over here publicly, but I'm gonna find the Tactical Arbitrage. Also, be sure to subscribe, guys, if you're not already, because we're gonna do these weekly. But yeah, go to the Tactical Arbitrage Facebook or YouTube group, subscribe, and right now I'm going to paste this below that.
And I noticed as well that Christine has put in here. Thank you, Christine. So check the comments if you can see them. On the Facebook wall, she's posted the YouTube link to a general explanation of the SBA loans. Thanks, Christine.
Cool.
Just the StreamYard. This is a pretty cool little interface. We can actually get everything on the screen pretty well and streaming from upload.
Yeah, that's solid. Jessica says, is your MF shipping estimates then done in your search filters? So the way that I've been running scans with MF shipping estimates is just adding it to my costs in the filters. So I just estimate it's going to cost me $4, and then each one of I typically use, like 99% of the time it's a padded envelope. So those cost me, I don't know, 15 cents a piece for a padded envelope. So about $4.15 is going to be my total cost. And I just add that to the product. So I'm not going to find as much because, of course, it costs me less to prep and ship it to Amazon, but I'm still finding profitable products. I bought something for, I think it was $20, and I sold it for $72 today, and I'm not price gouging. That's just what the average price is on a regular basis. So there was plenty of room to wiggle in there and take care of shipping fees and things like that.
Yeah, you'll know if you're price gouging pretty quickly right now.
Yep, they'll let you know. I've already gotten 1 or 2 emails about it.
Yeah, there was a shop down the road, and they like hand sanitizer around here costs, it costs between $10 and $20. It's not, we can't get it super cheap unless you go into a department store, but they all ran out. So one of the local hairdressers managed to get some, and they just put $15 a bottle on it for, I think it was, 250 mils. So it was a decent sized bottle or whatever. They thought they were helping out. They got slammed. You're price gouging it. And I haven't been able to buy it myself online for less than, say, $30 because everybody seems to be jacking the price up. And I felt bad for this little shop. People were saying, I'll never shop there again. $15. Yeah. They probably paid $15 for it. Honestly, it's so hard to get. So I don't have a wholesaler.
We could talk about the economics and the ethics and everything about that all day. It's crazy. It was a crazy thing. Last week was a crazy time.
It is crazy times we're living in. It is. Hopefully we get to the other side of it before too long.
Hopefully before this is all over, people learn how to spell gouging. That's all I'd like them to take away from this.
Price gauging.
Gouging. Stop gouging.
Stop price gouging. Yeah, buy a bottle of vodka. Somebody told me that, and then I tried to just get straight alcohol, and that was sold out like 3 weeks ago. Does the vodka really work? Is that a real thing?
No. That's okay. It's got to be at least like 68% alcohol in your hand sanitizer.
Rum that can sanitize me from the inside out.
Now, moonshine should do it, and Everclear should do it, but no, like Tito's vodka is that you cannot use that.
Everclear, the band.
Yeah, exactly.
We can live beside the ocean. Was that there?
Money for Mars says, I just learned a little about tactical arbitrage over the last few weeks. I find this interesting. It is interesting.
I love that name.
What can we tell you about tactical arbitrage? Should we get into some new features? We can always circle back to this. But before I do, I wanted to chuck it down something that we were talking about before the show started. We call it lockdown unlocked. We need some sound effects. Lockdown. We need a sort of a jail door opening sound effect. Ka-ching! Lockdown unlocked. So basically this means is that not necessarily in this show because it's short notice, but if you want to go ahead, but in the shows in the weeks ahead, if you decide, hey, I've got something to say about this, or I wouldn't mind being a guest about this, then feel free to shout out. You can always jump in mid-show. We'll probably cap people at 5 minutes max because we've got a bit of show to get through. But if somebody wants to come in and talk about a particular topic or they've got something to say, then I can always flick you the link privately, and then you can jump on in and say your piece. If you don't want to show your face, there's always the option, I think, to hide camera and I'll just test that now. You can still hear me, right? Yeah. Okay. So you can do it like that as like a call-in person. We call that lockdown unlocked, and we want to open that up to people who are interested in jumping on in.
Yeah, he'll flick you that link. Apparently, that's the saying now.
I put a call out to Joe Exotics people to see if we can get him on the show.
Oh man, isn't that so? Between Ozark and the Tiger guy, we've pretty much got plenty of entertainment.
Do you get Lisa to watch that yet? I am just like floored that she's like putting up a fight about watching it. It's the best show that I've ever seen in my life. Like, he was guilty of the crime, like of all the stuff he did.
Hey, but don't, no spoilers.
Oh, so you haven't watched it? I've been begging you to watch it for like 3 weeks.
There's other people here who probably only like me. I'm 2 episodes in, but just when I got to the end of that second episode, Ozark season 3 came out and everything stopped. We just finished Ozark last night. We're going to circle straight back to the outrageous tiger guy. And,
Ozark's good too, but
Carol Baskin, she's up to no good. That one.
She kill her husband. But.
Robert's curious. What was the product Nate mentioned? I'm new and I'm trying to get a handle on this. Robert, that's Storefront Stalker Pro, and I'll let Nate tell you what it does.
Yeah, sure. So Storefront Stalker Pro is a third-party Chrome extension that we created that lets you export. Oh yeah, don't F with cats is really good as well. Sorry. It lets you export ASINs from any page on Amazon, which once you've been using TA, it will start to sound better and better once you understand like the possibilities. But it's just a cool add-on that lets you export things to then import them into TA to try to find sources to buy them from. So it was called Storefront Stalker because it started out just on storefronts. So you could go to your competitors and see what they were selling, and then you could try to kind of reverse engineer what they were doing and how they were getting it if they were doing arbitrage. But for a few years now, it's worked on everything. So it works on movers and shakers. It works on anything that you filter. You can put a Nike 4-star under $100. And there's also some cool features that Chris Grant actually had suggested that we added in that make it so you can do bulk, so you can get hundreds of thousands if you wanted ASINs. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, again, we're doing that for 24 hours. We're doing a pay what you can, all the way from 0 up into the regular price of $149. If you know anybody that could use that right now that's selling and using TA, preferably people that are using TA, obviously it's where it gets most of its value. And we want to say thank you for being members and thank you for staying as members during this crazy time.
And all you would do is sorry, go ahead.
And if anybody wants that, it's going to be up for 24 hours. And I'm going to shut it down. Well, not shut it down, but it'll go back to regular price after that. So if you want it and if you're hurting for cash, you don't have to pay a thing. If you're doing okay on cash, but not great, you can pay half. If you're doing great, big year for you, and you want to pay full price, that's awesome too. Up to you.
Yeah, and you would take those codes and you would come to a page like reverse product search, and you would choose a file and basically import the file, and you could scan those ASINs that way. That's a nice, simple way to do it. So Storefront Stalker works really synergistically with tactical arbitrage, and it's long been,
guys, the link to that, somebody that's on Facebook asked what the link was. So this is being shared in like a couple of different spots. Right now we're using it. I put the link in the comments in the YouTube thread, and I'll share it. If you're on my email list, I'll share it with my email list, and I'll also post it to the main Facebook post here eventually. If you can't find it, just shoot me a PM, or you can message me. I think you can message me on YouTube. Yeah, I'm available. I'm not going anywhere.
And real world case study from Jessica, who just used it to export ASINs for some paper products. Giving away a bit of a secret there, Jessica. Paper products are selling like cray right now.
Hey, that's good people though. That's when people share what's working. That's good stuff.
You guys should craft. Go. How many boxes of craft have you gone through with your kids?
Dude, Chris, I don't want to go off topic, but Chris Green has a book that did he make that? Was that his idea?
Yeah, that was his.
Oh, it's so funny. It's just a blank book, and it says emergency toilet paper. And he's doing it on selling it on Amazon, like as a direct publishing thing. So people can buy it, and if they run out of toilet paper, they can use the pages.
That's clever.
Yeah, it's super clever. Yeah, he's just like full of stuff like that. He's always coming up with these awesome little ideas.
That's fantastic.
I'll be right back. I can still hear you guys, but you can't hear me.
Jessica talked about paper products. It's fascinating to go and look at coloring books and things like that. You should see how they've just absolutely just plummeted in sales rank. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, parents have got like Huey's Facebook user who, sorry, I can't see your name, unfortunately, because you maybe didn't register that yet, but it says, games and puzzles are selling like crazy right now, and being in lockdown, it's all becomes completely clear the products that you should be looking to sell. Straight away, we had 6 boxes of, paint Elsa and Anna, paint a rock and make it look a little pet rock, stick googly eyes on it. We had a few boxes of stuff like that, and I'm just bringing Nate back now. And they all got used in the first 2 weeks, just whenever we were looking for something to entertain the kids. Things like video games that we thought the kids were never going to get around to playing. They're suddenly, they've gone through like the main ones like Call of Duty, and they're starting to sort of, sniff around the God of War type games and the ones that haven't really been played very much. Tony Hawk's Skate 2015.
Dude, that was the game when I was growing up.
I'll tell you
30 now, but that game's been around for a while. Good stuff.
Yeah, I can't believe we were having your 30th birthday at Cheesecake Factory in Vegas a year ago.
Here's an old-timey statement. You and I were in Las Vegas. Bitcoin was at $12,000. We could hug each other. We hug each other a lot. And that wasn't weird. It wasn't weird.
It wasn't weird at all.
It's only weird now because of the germs, you guys.
I'd probably still give you a high five. It's we'd find a way.
We have the same germs. What is your email for Storefront Stalker? Add me on Facebook. I give you my email, but nobody knows how to spell it. It's nate@entreresource.com. But it's like, how many re-regs are in that? Resource? Bad domain, guys. If you're gonna brand yourself, pick a good domain. Don't make no mistake. Cheesecake stopped paying rent. Yeah, I saw that. And the hilarious thing about that is that they have the goofiest interior design ever. So if they ever wanted to sell that place, it's got like mummies on top, and there's just random none of it goes together.
But that said, if I go to my trip to Hawaii and the Cheesecake Factory is closed, there's going to be a riot. We always go to the Cheesecake Factory. We don't have Cheesecake Factory in Australia, so it's like a guilty pleasure. It's great to sit there with a 400-page menu and choose what you want.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I just get this. Lisa always gets the same thing. She gets the biscuits and gravy because we don't get biscuits and gravy either.
I didn't even know they had that. You have to have you have to read at a 18th grade, to get through that menu.
I wonder if you can get it on Kindle.
Season 1, Cheesecake Factory.
I'm sure the hummingbird costume is going to come out of storage over the coming weeks. I'm gonna have to get my son. I can't get our regular hummingbird to wear it because it's in Australia for a start. Who is our regular hummingbird? Who is the Stig? Come on.
I just think it hugs me in all the right places. I feel like I fill it out well.
So the truth is out there. The hummingbird is Nate, but we can get it in.
I only show up though if you believe that it's me. Jacob Bates.
All right. Well, we should move on to the next. Not that we want to necessarily strictly limit this to a 90-minute show, but I can see it blowing out a lot further than that. If we could talk all night, I'm really not going anywhere, guys. In another hour, I can even go get a beer if you want.
I feel like normally our shows have a little more of a sense of urgency, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, not today.
Everybody is everybody's in the same boat right now. They've all got, unless there's something really good on TV that you're waiting to get to, which I totally understand if there is, and there is going to be a replay of this on YouTube, and you can catch it later. But
we take out all the pause. We take out all the F-bombs and
you gotta
watch it live. You gotta see it raw.
See, I don't have my sound my soundboard here to play the beeps for covering up swear words and things. I had everything ready to go and it's not there. Okay, so Jacob has called us the Three Stooges. Thanks, Jacob. Yang, yang, yang.
Jacob is actually started selling on Amazon when he met Chris Grant locally.
Yeah, I talked him out of going to college.
Yeah,
I'm proud of that.
That's good.
Good. He's doing good. I mean, he's just, he's not the sharpest, person, but he's doing good. No, he's smart. He's a good guy. He's only like 22 or something.
Good job. Yeah.
Crushing it. Amazon merch guy. They shut down merch. I don't know if you guys noticed. They didn't shut it down permanently, but they closed down the printing press. We were going to give away.
This was going to be one of our giveaways, but it's I couldn't find a buy button, and I realized the merch is shut down. And so, if you win a prize tonight, you can elect to wait for merch to reopen and get a T-shirt, or I'll just. What's that?
That should have 1,000 reviews, 1,000 5-star reviews. That shirt, I look so good in that shirt compared to all my other shirts. And I have 1,000 of them.
This is literally half my wardrobe is Tactical Arbitrage T-shirts.
Dude, I have 4 brothers, and whenever I want to buy new clothes, Emily makes me give away my old clothes. So if you go over to my parents' house at any given point, there's like 4 people wearing Tactical Arbitrage shirts. Probably don't even know what it is.
All right, we got a couple of questions. In regards to wholesale, do I have to purchase the list? No, you need to open up a wholesale account with a wholesaler or a brand owner or something like that.
Is that going to run it through TA?
Yeah, then you can run it through TA, of course.
Depends how they give you the manifest and all that.
Yeah. And then Shazad says, where's the section to ask questions? You can ask them right there in the comments where you posted that one, my friend.
I can't see those 2 questions coming through on the comment wall, actually. Where do you see those ones?
Make sure you have live comments over in StreamYard.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting live comments, but what time did that one come through?
8:54.
Oh, okay, it didn't come through for me. I'm not sure why.
Let's see. Kova says
one just came through.
You have a link for Storefront Stalker.
Okay, that's been covered. It's going to be posted at the bottom of the replay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I posted it there. I'm in Facebook now too. So,
hey, Facebook user. Okay. So let's move on. We've done lockdown.
So open an account and then ask for the manifest. Yeah. So any good? Did you answer this while I was looking at Facebook?
No, I mean essentially, yes. There's a little bit more finesse to it. You'll want to build a relationship, and it's not like wholesale it's not just transactional. You need to shake hands and kiss babies metaphorically and
literally.
That too.
Deals. It works 1% of the time.
That's right.
You just gotta do it 100 times a day.
But once you have an account, yes, you can ask them for a price list or a manifest, or sometimes they'll have a website where you can see all their prices. Which we won't talk about Tactical Bucket tonight, but a Tactical Bucket can be a great add-on for that. So
that's like the secret ninja tool that like only the hardcore users know about.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of it. It's not one of those things where it's like if you haven't been using it, you see it, you're like, oh, this is kind of what is all this stuff. But once you've been using TA for a while, you're like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Yavi San Juan, who runs Tactical Bucket, he's a genius,
and just a nice guy too.
He's a nice guy, and basically one of the main things that he does is he adds. So if I go into advanced user, he has a whole bunch of these XPaths you can add, all these different sites that you can add, so that you can scan not just the default sites that are built into Tactical Arbitrage, but any of the, is it hundreds? Literally hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
Sites. Tactical Bucket does more than just that as well, but that's one of the coolest things about it is being able to add so many different sourcing locations. to tactical arbitrage, and obviously they're not as openly shared. Not as many people have access to those.
Yeah, so I mean, just the big, mile high overview is that you're getting more sites to scan. I mean, TA already has 1,000, which is, if you guys look at any of the other competitors, not trying to put them down, but they don't have that many as TA. But then you can add in these, and like Alex said, these aren't the public ones. These are ones that you and anyone who's ever bought that expert, it's going to be a much smaller number of people, have. So it's a nice little untapped, your own little blue ocean there products. And I just like Javier. I wish Javier would start a GoFundMe or a what's that thing called where you just pay people for being themselves?
Like a Patreon.
Yeah,
Patreon.
like just if I could just get on some sort of pin just to pay him money because of how nice he is, I would do that.
He really.
That was one of the best things about the Las Vegas trip is that Javier stayed with us. So it was you, me, and Javier, and we had that pool table, right? So that was cool.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Really cool.
Yeah, he does all the stuff himself, like all the work in there. He does it's
all of it.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have Javier and his wife Maria stay at our house, and like Maria is like just as nice as Javier is, and they're a great couple of people.
He gotta be. He deserves the best. My man crush Javier is showing pretty strong right now, but you know what? Hey,
no shame in your game.
no, got this lockdown going on. I'm not holding in my feelings.
Lockdown love.
I want people to know how I feel. What are your favorite things?
Oh, sorry, guys. Shazad says, "Is it okay to send stuff to Amazon even though the buy box is suppressed?" I mean, yeah, of course. You mean right now with the current restrictions, or do you mean just anytime? Because I see no problem with sending in suppressed buy box products. What do you think, Chris?
A lot of stuff gonna have.
Yeah, items with a suppressed buy box, they still sell. But if you look at the history graph in TA, what you're going to see is that something that gets a suppressed buy box typically sees the velocity slow down because it's an extra click. There's some more friction to buy, and I mean consumers just don't like friction. However, if people want it, they will get it. So I mean, they still sell.
It's like you feel naked though when there's no buy box. Like I bought a couple of things. Like right now, the buy box is not as common as it was before this.
Oh yeah,
it is a weird experience. But then there's other variables too, like the fact that maybe just maybe it's not as popular, and that's why people aren't sending as many in, and the price isn't where they want it to be as far as being put on the MSRP.
See, this is a suppressed buy box here. That's what the SUP means on the screen there. I can see it's still selling at a good rate. It might not be selling as fast as some products, but it's suppressed and it's making sales. So that graph alone should be able to answer your question.
And he says, well, with the price gouging going on, so I mean they took down, like, I don't know, the numbers are somewhere between 4,000 and 10,000 sellers. So I don't think that this price gouging going on is as widespread as what the public
I think we have our first contest winner because I think that Shazad just spelled gouging right.
Right?
What's the first prize? What are we getting? Academy?
$25 Amazon gift voucher for Shazad for spelling gouging correctly.
Hey, there it is.
I'll put that in there.
I wish we had that. Man, we had sounds. This was gonna be a big moment right now. Like when the winner was just everything was gonna be going crazy. We're gonna have coin effects, but
perhaps maybe Alex can do like a fireworks video or something for when there's a winner that could be played for a moment. That would be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was winner number one. And if you guys, we have forgotten to give away the prizes. So we need to hurry up with that because we won't give away one gift card. If you're watching the replay, I'm sorry. No prizes for you. I'm sorry. But you can still get that. Pay what you can.
Congratulations.
On sound effects. It's good. In times like this, you do have to entertain yourself.
Absolutely. Let's talk about new features. let's talk about a couple of the new tactical arbitrage features.
Yeah.
One of them is the always be scanning feature, and everybody who has inserted their MWS keys into his name. Everybody who's inserted their MWS keys into tactical arbitrage has got this. Originally, it was going to be an add-on additional expense tool, but as the world began to change, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to give this to everybody for free, like Oprah. You get always be scanning. You get always be scanning. You get always be scanning. Now, the deal behind always be scanning is, as the name implies, you can see up the top here, it is always scanning. It's going from ASIN to ASIN to ASIN, and it's looking at the top 10% of Amazon's catalog for a product that may be profitable. And what it does is it essentially does a reverse search. So it's looking backwards at all the domains that we've got. And if you've got your additional XPaths in there, it'll also look at those domains as well. And this is, you can utilize this page exactly the same as any view data page. So for example, I just went into the title here and I just typed in Bob. And
so shout out to our friend Bob Steele.
And you can see, my products won't be the same as anybody else's products, mind you. And somebody can buy this if you want, because so this one says out of stock. This one is into stock. There's 7 left of those. Let's see somebody out there quickly racing for this. And then if you go over to Amazon, it says it's currently unavailable. Okay.
Somebody mentioned it, man. The games and stuff are sounding like crazy right now.
Yeah, I'll bet money that sold out quick. Bob's Burgers is a quickly became a cult classic as well.
That's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
It regularly sells pretty good price anywhere around this $27.95 ever since February, but recently up around the sort of 30.
Christopher's gonna have to redo his entire Keepa course after all this mess to clean it up.
No kidding.
So the most recent Amazon buy box was $49.99 suppressed on that. So what I'm trying to say here is, with always be scanning, is it's not giving you the same ASINs as anybody else. After 28 days, this will disappear from this page. It's basically rotating all the time. So if you really want to keep one of these particular ASINs, you're going to have to save it into a saved folder. Or you can always download the CSV if you prefer to work that way and re-upload it later. And it's funny, when I did a title search by Bob, and that's not normally how I would do a search. I'd normally sort by things like return on investment, or sort by, say, match quality or category or any number of things. But I just typed in Bob there for a gag, and then I also got this Bob.
Bob
up here. And this Bob is also available, and $21.24. Add to cart. Looks like it's in stock and selling pretty consistently at $29.95. Doesn't sound like there's much in that. So $32.45. See, but the thing is this price came down quite a bit because it was $21.24. Cashback at Rebates Me gives you 6% off. There's a gift card over at Card Cash giving you 21% off for FYE. So all in all, this comes down to $17.54. And then by the time you've got that to the customer, which is at $32.95 now, was $29.95, you're looking at 14%. So probably more like you'd have to go into Tactical Edge to check for sure. But I'm guessing around the 25% mark now. So if I remove this, sorry, I jumped away from it too quickly there. So this is a bit unusual because I'm in Australia, so I'm not maybe seeing some of the items on this page that you're seeing, but a lot of these sellers will be out of stock right now. But if I remove this term Bob, Just basically remove that. You can see I've got thousands of items there to look at, and find profitable items amongst those. So that's always be scanning. It's basically doing some searches for you. And so whenever you're feeling lazy and you just want to jump in and see whether or not Tactical Arbitrage found something for you without you doing anything, you can come on in here. If you don't want to see the stuff that you've been looking at over the last few days, you can always, of course, go to the last update filter and just search from the last 0 to 1, or maybe you haven't looked for a couple of days, so the last 0 to 2 days. You can apply that filter. And you can keep an eye on what's fresh if you're checking it regularly. But if you haven't checked it in a while, then I encourage you to get on in there and have a look for some free deals. It's like your own curated list that everybody gets, and you can then check all the details yourself. Check what's restricted for you. I'm going to guess I'm restricted for this because it's a serum, and I'm not ungated for topicals. Okay, you are not approved to list this product. Don't forget to use the sale restriction button here. The sale restriction button, somebody asked me in an email the other day, does the sale restriction button currently check the shipping restrictions that are a temporary shipping restriction with the COVID-19 restrictions? It does not. It only checks whether or not you're restricted for your account. So there is no way at this point to add an additional restriction check in there for that that we have found just yet. We're thinking about looking into it, but if those restrictions are all going to be finished in the next couple of weeks, then there's not much point in us investing too many development man hours into building a new feature. So the other feature that I want to talk about, I'm just going to spend 5 minutes on each, is not released yet, but we're in the final stages of developing it. It is kind of like an inventory management page. Now, why are all mine dark gray? That is because I have units in the system 0, units available for sale 0. So what I'm trying to say here is that your entire Amazon history of products that you've ever sent in is going to be discoverable on this view inventories page. Now have a think about what that could do for you. I mean, you can reverse search stuff that you sold a long time ago, for example, just using the reverse search button up here. You can dive in to see changes that are available for sale. Now, at the moment, there's no alert system built in yet, but we are working on adding an alert system, so a little pop-up will appear on the screen no matter where you are in Tactical Arbitrage to say, you've just sold one of the WWE Divas Championship toy belt. So that will make it nice for you to be hanging out in Tactical Arbitrage, seeing those sales as they tick on into your account while you're working. But at the moment, you'll be able to come on in here, and if a unit available for sale has changed, it will update the row for you automatically. So if it says that there's 16 items here and one changes, it'll go down to 15 items and 14 items and stuff, and you can keep an eye on the units available for sale. Now, we do understand that people with virtual assistants might want to protect some of this data. So we've added a protect this page with password, and it is a separate password to the password that you use in your settings page. So you can put your own password in there that only you use. It is not password protected by default. So once this is launched, if you do want a password protected, I suggest you jump in there and do that. Aside from that, you can drill into it further, into the countries that you've sold at, into the shipments that you've created at the time. And if there is no data on the initial import and you want fresh data, you can, of course, update the row and get the most up-to-date data on the product, the brand and everything else that's currently there for that particular product. So this is a pretty cool little addition, and it is coming soon. I'm really hoping to push it out in the next week. I found some more fixes that needed to be done to it. If you've got a product in stock, the background won't be gray, it will be white, and you'll see units available for sale in there. Of course, if you just want to see the units available for sale, all you're going to do is go into the units available for sale and say anything more than 1. Nice and simple.
That feature is sick.
You think that's going to be cool?
That's sick.
Once again, my developers and I had a sit down 2 months ago and said, this is going to be an add-on at an additional cost to members because it is almost a standalone tool. And then the coronavirus thing came around and I was like, no, let's just give it to everybody for free. And they're like, you've spent so much time and money on making this feature. And I said, yeah, but everybody right now needs an incentive to like stick with the program and get on with their business. And I'd rather we just give it to everybody. Once this whole time period is over, we might eventually have some changes in pricing and stuff. It won't affect people who are already in tactical arbitrage, but if a new member comes along in, say, August, when this is settled, let's hope it's all done before August, but some of these things might be an additional cost then. But at the moment, if you're a member or you're jumping in now, then it's all going to be included for you. So
that's one thing that TA has never done is there's been multiple additions and there's been new pricing, and the existing customers have never been punished once. They always get taken care of, you grandfathered in or whatever. So if you guys are on the fence of starting, like Alex said, this was not the intention to make this free from the beginning. It was a lot of time and effort and money. But yeah, I would definitely recommend now would be a good time to jump in if you're able to.
Cool. And I'm seeing a few people in the comments are saying that they like that, which is cool because you build something, you never know what kind of a feedback you're going to get on your work. But obviously we want to make things that people think are cool. And I can see this being extremely useful. Certainly saves you like logging into Seller Central to see this data if you've got all this data already sitting here for you. So that's one less page you need to have open. You can just sort of hang around Tactical Arbitrage and get most of that information that you need. Another good thing about having all of the stuff that you've ever shipped in before is you can you can get a reminder on products that you've completely forgotten about and say, wow, that's right. I was selling that product and it was doing really well, and then I completely forgot about it. I might run a reverse search on that right now and see whether or not I can find that and whether or not it's profitable now. Or you can put some stuff in a saved folder or whatnot. All of that stuff works. You still got things like managed columns and filter managers and pretty much everything as per a traditional view data page is on here. And we're always open to people giving us their 2 cents on what would make it better as well. We like to listen to you guys and add extra bits and pieces.
Chris, what did we have to do one more giveaway, right? One of our kids is having fun. I say not it on me. Not that my kids wouldn't, but it's 8:30 and they're in bed. Or what time is it?
My boy's in bed.
It's Alex.
What's that? What can you hear? Kids?
Yeah, how dare you?
Oh, they're upstairs making noise. Is it overly loud?
No.
It's
the sweet sound of children playing.
Yeah, that sound that like a lot of people are learning about now. When your kids aren't at school, you're working at home.
Dad, come upstairs. That's all right. I love it. It's cool. It's good to be wanted. It's good to be loved.
We love you.
So that's the 2 new features. I hope that they're exciting. We probably won't have time for a lot of over-the-shoulder searching today. Although if you've got a specific question, we might do some Q&A, and that might lead to some searching. But Nate mentioned sort of the
we're going to do 2 things, right? We're doing. We want to, if somebody had asked, I don't know if it was the question, best way to train a VA and TA, or if it was a comment about the process and having them do it to train them. But me and Christopher think that the best way to train your VA is through the Tactical Academy. Just have them take the course. It's the course that Chris spent a ton of time on. Really proud of it. And we were going to do 50% off for 24 hours, Chris, right?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. I'm glad you agree because I already made the code. Let me grab that for you guys. And then let's also, do you want to give one away?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's give away a Tactical Academy. And why don't we Why don't we give away an IP alert, I guess?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So what's the criteria? Do you want to throw it open to people who've got some good tips on, maybe just on good tips of things to survive lockdown? It doesn't have to necessarily be about the Amazon restrictions or anything. It could be just surviving time with your kids. Do you want to chuck a few comments in as to things that you think have really made your time in lockdown easier, whether it's for work or for pleasure? And we'll select a couple that we think are standouts. And what do you guys think? Or is there a different criteria?
If you want to put that code up on there, it is TA Live 50.
Okay, so there's a few codes coming up, but the code that they're talking about is about to come on the screen now. 50% off Tactical Academy with the code TA Live 50. Now, is that over at the tacticalacademy.com?
Yep, that is at our URL, which I will post here. It's hosted on my website. Or is it still live at Tactical-Academy, Chris?
Yeah. You just go to tactical-academy.com.
All right, cool.
The first one is duct tape in a closet for kids. And
I'm not sure if
hopefully
everybody can use that one. So it's funny though, but we'll consider that as one of the potential candidates. Let me just talk about these other codes as well that are on the screen while they're up there, just while a few responses come in. So to assist people, so as far as the support goes, that we can try and help people who, some people have lost their jobs. It's unavoidable. In Australia, the lines to the unemployment office are down the street right now, and they were complaining that it's really difficult to social distance when you're in a line that stretches for 2 blocks. So they've been working on solutions for that, but we've had unprecedented levels of unemployment here, and I'm assuming in the States as well. Some people in the entrepreneurial space are not impacted at all because they've always been entrepreneurs, but other people were always sort of doing this in association with a second job, or maybe their partner was working, which is supplemental income, and they've lost that. So things like the 50% off Tactical Academy is super helpful. We are also giving off 15% off any of our annual tiers. Now, the annual tiers in Tactical Arbitrage are already about 24% off month-to-month pricing. But if you wanted to jump into a annual tier, just to sort of reduce the overall monthly sort of discount, or to increase the overall monthly discount, you can use a code there, which is late night when signing up to Tactical Arbitrage or when changing a subscription in Tactical Arbitrage. We've also got buy one, get one for the first 2 months code. So you basically pay for 1 month up free. This is a monthly one using ERBOGO as the code. And we've got 14-day trials for people just starting out as well with CTS 14. So you've got plenty of options there. 15% off an annual tier, buy one, get 1 month free for the first 2 months. And then it reverts to normal after that. Or you can just go into a 14-day free trial using code CTS14. And then there's
a replay, right, Alex? These links aren't going to be live anymore.
No, so these coupon codes are usable at Tactical Arbitrage when signing up or changing subscription tiers, or at Tactical Academy website. So that's for you guys. So we've got a couple more questions come in during this. I have been an eBay seller for over a year. I just started Amazon fall of last year, but I have a 15 by 35 storage of backstock for eBay to fall back on at this point. Okay, so yeah, that's cool. I mean, one other thing that you can do is use other channels to sell your products, such as eBay. Definitely a valid option. The other option is, if you are exclusively Amazon, is trust that this is temporary, and you might have some stock sitting around the house for a couple of weeks. Definitely keep an eye on the news as it unfolds, and when the time is right, then start sending in those shipments then. This is an evolving time, and nobody really knows exactly best ways to, how it's going to sort of unfold or unravel in the weeks and months ahead. But
yeah, it was a catch-22 because a lot of people got out of, they either lost their jobs or they started working from home, and that was like, oh, this would be a perfect time to ramp up the Amazon. And then the FBA restrictions came in, so it made that harder. But the potential is still there. I know there's a lot of people that are hungry right now. I mean, hungry to succeed in business, and they've got an opportunity right now to maybe spend that time. And some people just don't. I can totally get, like, a lot of people have got to take care of other stuff and they've got to go drive for Uber or whatever. That makes perfect sense too. But if you're in the position where you can stick to it, and I think tactical arbitrage is going to be a great option, a great way to help you get through the tough times we've got ahead. But Samuel says, I've been having Storefront Stalker for close to 2 years. I know that I'm not getting maximum usage. Where can I get some training on Storefront Stalker? Chris has a bunch of good free videos. The software hasn't changed very much. And Storefront Stalker has really hardly changed at all. The only changes have been when Amazon changes the product pages a little bit, but it's super basic software on the surface for what it does. But Chris has got some free videos we talk about in the Academy at length. But yeah, the best way, really the best way for most TA stuff is on Chris's channel or on this channel.
We've had a few competition entries come in. I like Katie's saying get outdoors, but for some countries you can't actually do that. You're not allowed to get outdoors. In Australia right now, Katie has said, not at public playgrounds, but just walks, hikes, etc. This helps with kids. So where you can do that, of course, that's cool and that's fun. Some places, I guess, are not even allowed outside. Is that true?
We're allowed outside.
I was at the park and there was a water fountain, and those are already disgusting, right? Like drinking out of a public water fountain is kind of, I'm not saying I haven't done it, but it's not something that I recommend. This dude,
something you pride yourself on.
This dude's drinking out of it. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I was like taken aback. Like I literally had to like stop, and I just kind of looked at him like, are you crazy?
They have removed the basketball hoops at all the parks in my county.
Just go up there, dunk on them, break them off.
Right. I was breaking too many basketball hoops.
Yeah, they had to do that. That was unrelated. That was from Chris's.
Yeah, it was unrelated.
That is a good idea though, Katie. Getting outdoors is a great idea. Anything to sort of keep those kids' energy levels engaged is great. Christine says, not my kids, but we're totally doing this in our hallway. Spy games, obstacle courses, crazy stuff to keep the kids occupied. I mean, that's cool too. You got to keep them engaged anywhere you can. I wouldn't recommend this. People are calling the cops and child protective service or parents. That's not a fun thing to do in lockdown. That's not. Oh, that wasn't a competition entry.
If I'll tell you what, I'll be honest. I would like to vote. I can't see the name; it's just Facebook user. But whoever said that they're spending the time sewing masks for hospitals, I think that gets my vote for winning TA Academy.
Who says this? Happy that Tactical Arbitrage is scanning for me so I can spend my time sewing masks for the hospitals. We'll find you on Facebook, and
that's good stuff.
That is so cool that you're doing that. Thank you so much. Let's make sure that this user gets a free Tactical Academy. Thanks for giving that to you guys. That's awesome of you guys. I'm gonna also, if you guys are existing members of Tactical Arbitrage, I'm also going to give Christine and also Katie 10% off their existing Tactical Arbitrage subscriptions. And why not? I'll also give one to this person here. It says movie nights with the kids. So those three users here, if you can please reach out to me on Facebook, I'll make sure that I can adjust your accounts by 10% off. Or if you're not already a member, I can give you like a $25 Amazon gift card. Obviously, the 10% off is more valuable, but if you're not a member, then I'll hit you up with a $25 gift card. I'll also give you that option, Shazad, who won earlier. So there's a few users there who got something. I'm just going to write your names down now while you guys chat amongst yourselves.
Cool. All right, well, there's a couple of questions that would require going back to the screen share, so we'll save that for next week. Anything that you guys are looking for, though, it's either on the TA channel already, in Chris's YouTube channel, or on the inside of the Tactical Academy. And also the TA Facebook group is unbelievably responsive. So if you have any questions, ask them in there for more specifics. And we'll do this again next week, and we will try to answer any of the questions that we had here that weren't answered.
And I'll just mention the loyalty program that Tactical Arbitrage has got. We want to encourage people to stick with the program and keep on working. Obviously, we've discussed a lot of solutions tonight to continue being successful on Amazon during this time. But anybody who stays a member of Tactical Arbitrage from the 1st of April all the way through to the end of the 30th of April will get additional limits on their view data. And so depending on what membership you're on, you'll have limitations on how many products you can get on the page. So I'll increase the limits. So for example, I'm on an old system here, so I can get 50,000 items maximum. But if you're a member throughout all of April, this is going to encompass a lot of our old long-term members as well. I'll be increasing this to 60,000 items so that you can fit more products on your view data pages. The same I'll do for the saved pages. And if you are not already a member of Tactical Flips, I'll get you a free membership of Tactical Flips at the end of April if you are not already a member of Tactical Flips. So that's pretty simple. All you have to do is remain a member throughout April. And I'm planning on doing a different loyalty reward for each month moving forward to try and help encourage people to sort of stick with the program and stick with us. And all in all, we want to support you guys' success any way we can.
Dick Spencer had a question about the XPaths. Dick, if you email me and we didn't reply, I apologize. We'll check. Shoot me or Chris an email, and we'll show you how to get taken care of. I've seeing your name now. I feel like you did email, and if I didn't reply, I'm very sorry. But we'll get you taken care of. Yeah, Alex, the tactical flips, that's going to be awesome. Once things go back to normal, there's going to be a lot of interesting price fluctuations, and that's like the perfect environment to get flips. There's going to be a lot of, some people are going to be liquidating, some people are going to be, things are going to be coming back in stock, and there's just going to be a lot of opportunity for some cool Amazon flips. I know some people make their entire business out of it, others just a small percentage, but I always found that those were the most fun to me, was the flips. I think it's going to be a cool time for those as things start to get better over the next few months.
That's awesome. Well, guys, stay safe. I guess wash your hands and don't touch your face. Chris, failing on the face touching.
I haven't touched my face this whole time. Dude, it's a beard thing.
I use hand sanitizer like 37 times a day.
Oh yeah, you're gonna tell everybody
you know that?
You gonna brag about your stash right now, man?
Dude, I buy hand sanitizer in bulk. I've got like 77 ounces of hand sanitizer.
I've got these little tiny ones like all over my car. These little tiny life-saving squirts, and I make them like putting them. I'll just do, like when I'm getting in my car. Like, why would I put them on when I'm getting in the car?
We couldn't get any. It was sold out everywhere. And I saw my mother for her birthday just before we went to lockdown, and she said, "Oh, I've got one of these in my car. It's a 50 ml bottle. I've been using it so sparingly. It's still going. It's been 2 weeks of just squeezing out like 3 mils, and
it goes a pretty long way, really. Never gonna take it for granted again, though. It's just like it's a beautiful feeling when you have it. You're like, oh yeah, I didn't appreciate this before.
Well, we'll be here next week. There might be another guest jump in with us next week. We're gonna do the lockdown unlocked and introduce somebody else come in here. We'll also do a little bit of over-the-shoulder searching next week. We'll keep getting those questions and answers going. And thank you for joining us here on the late night with Tactical Arbitrage with your hosts Alex Mars, Christopher Grant, and Nate McAllister.
Thank you, guys. Hey, be safe, everybody.
If your speakers are up loud, we're outroing with the video.
Oh, we're about to do it.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Right, so,
Cheers.
see you, buddy.